In 1993, an Indian business tycoon was forced to surrender his entire empire to Coca-Cola. His name was Ramesh Chauhan, the undisputed king of the Indian soft drink market. His company, Pal, owned national icons like Thumbs Up, Limca, and Gold Spot. They controlled over 60% of the market. But then, Coca-Cola returned to India. Coke had deep pockets, and they executed a cutthroat corporate strategy. Instead of fighting Pal directly, Coke went after their backbone, the bottling plants. Coke quietly bought out Pal's independent franchise bottlers one by one. Almost overnight, Pal's massive distribution network was completely paralyzed. With no factories left to bottle his drinks, Chauhan was backed into a corner. He had no choice. He sold Thumbs Up, Limca, and Gold Spot to Coca-Cola for $40 million. Coke celebrated. They believed they had completely conquered the Indian market. But Chauhan didn't walk away empty-handed. He kept one tiny, ignored asset, a struggling brand he had bought years ago for just 4 lakh rupees. A brand that sold something most Indians thought was completely worthless: water. That brand was Bisleri. And Ramesh Chauhan was about to launch his ultimate revenge. In the 1990s, the idea of selling bottled water in India sounded like a joke. Water was free everywhere. Why would anyone pay hard-earned money for it? But Chauhan saw a massive shifting trend that global giants completely missed. India's economy was opening up. A new middle class was rising. And with rapid growth came a massive problem. Safe drinking water was becoming scarce. Typhoid, cholera, and waterborne diseases were a constant threat to travelers. Chauhan realized people weren't paying for water, they were paying for safety. He re-engineered Bisleri, introducing a strict 10-step purification process. But having a clean product wasn't enough. He needed to make it iconic. At the time, most mineral water brands used generic blue labels. Chauhan made a brilliant psychological move. He changed Bisleri's color to bright green. Green stood for purity, freshness, and safety. It instantly stood out on crowded shelves. Now, Bisleri looked different. But Chauhan's next move was pure distribution genius. He knew that in India, a product succeeds only if it is everywhere, all at once. So, he launched a strategy called Omnipresence, and it targeted every single corner. Chauhan bypassed traditional retail rules. He realized thirst can strike anywhere. He pushed Bisleri into railway stations, bus stands, and highway darbas. If a traveler was thirsty, Bisleri was the only safe option within arm's reach. Next, he targeted local kirana stores, the small mom-and-pop shops of India. He discovered these stores had very limited space for stock. So, Bisleri didn't just sell one standard bottle size, they built an arsenal of options. They made 250 milliliter cups for events, 5 to 100 milliliter bottles for quick walks, and 1 liter bottles for meals. And then came the masterstroke, the massive 20-liter home jars. By supplying offices and homes, Bisleri locked out all competition before they could even start. Their distribution network became so massive, it was virtually unmatchable. Bisleri was selling millions of bottles every single day. Meanwhile, Coca-Cola was realizing they had made a colossal mistake. Coke's core soda business was facing a massive slowdown globally. Health-conscious consumers were actively moving away from sugary soft drinks. Coke desperately needed a massive share of the booming packaged water market. Coca-Cola launched Kinley. They threw millions of dollars into marketing. They used their massive global muscle to force Kinley onto store shelves. But they ran straight into a psychological brick wall built by Ramesh Chauhan. Bisleri hadn't just built a successful brand, they had become the generic name for water itself. When an Indian customer walked into a shop, they didn't ask for mineral water. They simply said, "Give me a Bisleri." Even if the shopkeeper handed them Kinley or Aquafina, the customer still called it Bisleri. This is the ultimate holy grail of marketing, a proprietary eponym. Just like people say Xerox for a photocopy, or Google for an internet search. By becoming the noun itself, Bisleri made Coca-Cola's multi-million-dollar marketing entirely useless. Today, Bisleri dominates the Indian packaged water market with a massive 60% share. They sell over 20 billion liters of water every single year. Coca-Cola successfully took Chauhan's sodas, but Chauhan took the entire future of hydration. It remains one of the greatest revenge stories in modern business history. The global giant bought the empire, but the local founder built an unshakable dynasty.